All right, so today we're diving into this YouTube video, and it is about this guy, David, who is trying to work out like David Goggins for 100 days straight.
David Goggins, wow.
Yeah, Goggins, for those who don't know, is like an ex-Navy SEAL.
Right.
And he's pretty much a legend when it comes to like his approach to fitness.
Oh, yeah, he's intense.
The guy runs ultramarathons.
Yeah.
As if they were casual jogs, you know?
It's like he's the human embodiment of pushing your limits.
Yeah.
Both physically and mentally.
Oh, for sure.
He really embodies that whole embrace the suck mentality.
Yeah, he's intense.
Yeah.
So our YouTuber, David, he starts off the video by revealing that he just got some pretty tough news from his doctor.
Oh, no.
He is obese and pre-diabetic.
Oh, wow.
Which is, definitely a wake-up call.
Yeah.
And he decides to take inspiration from Goggins.
Sure.
But we're talking a minimum of 12 miles of running every single day on top of 45 minutes to an hour and a half at the gym every day.
What?
It's crazy. Like, he even says just getting out of bed was the hardest thing he did before this.
Yeah. So to go from that to Goggins level,
It's a huge jump.
that's monument. It's a monumental task.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what drives someone to make a change like that.
Right. And it gets real very quickly.
Yeah.
David's early days are brutal.
I bet.
He's dealing with nausea, exhaustion.
Oh, man.
There's even this one point where he's so drained after a run that he sits on his front porch for like 20 minutes,
Oh, wow.
unable to move.
Jeez.
He even says in the video, quote, "I don't know how much further I can go."
Yeah.
It just makes you realize how taxing this whole thing is on the body.
It really highlights the importance of easing into any exercise program,
Right.
especially one as demanding as this.
Yeah.
And, it's a good reminder for anyone listening, like, don't try to make such a drastic change
Yeah.
without some proper preparation and guidance from a medical professional.
Totally. But, you got to give the guy some credit. He's resourceful. He's using a massage gun, protein powder. He's even doing ice plunges
Oh, wow.
in a Home Depot bucket
Nice.
just to try and help his body recover.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see, even at this early stage, he's realizing the importance of recovery
Yeah.
alongside these crazy workouts.
It shows like an intuitive understanding that if you push your body to that extreme,
Yeah,
you've got to take care of it,
for sure.
even if it's in a bucket of ice water.
But then, just a week in, boom, he gets hit with some severe pain in his ankle and shin.
Ooh.
It swells up and he can't run.
Oh, man.
And he talks about feeling pathetic that he's not able to keep up.
Right.
And he even turns to a cheat meal for comfort.
It's so easy to do
Yeah.
when you're feeling down.
You start to wonder, is he pushing too hard too fast?
That's where that, embrace the suck mentality can
Yeah.
be problematic. It's
Yeah.
a classic example of, don't ignore your body's signals.
Right.
Pushing through pain like that
Yeah.
can lead to setbacks.
Absolutely.
And rest and recovery are the most crucial parts
Sometimes, yeah.
of any fitness journey.
It's like he's learning the hard way.
Yeah.
But right when you think he might just give up, he finds this video of Goggins
Okay.
talking about adapting to challenges and overcoming obstacles.
Right.
And it's like a switch flips in his mind.
Yeah.
He decides he's still going to do this thing,
Okay.
but he needs to modify the workouts a bit.
Makes sense.
It's just fascinating how a simple shift in perspective can be so powerful.
It highlights that mental side of these types of challenges. It's not all physical, it's
No.
mental resilience,
Totally.
adaptability, that ability to reframe the situation and
Right.
find a way forward.
Yeah. So what does he do? He starts swimming,
Interesting.
which, seems like a pretty smart way to keep active while letting that ankle heal up.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He hates swimming.
Oh, no.
So he's adapted,
Yeah.
but not in a way that he's enjoying.
Right. How sustainable is that, really?
Right. And of course, he gets eager to get back to running.
Yeah.
And he pushes himself before the ankle's fully healed.
Oh, no.
And surprise, surprise,
What happened?
the injury gets worse.
Oh, man.
So it's a good reminder that sometimes the hardest part is just being patient
Totally.
and letting your body fully recover.
Yeah. It's so easy to get caught up
Right,
in the
it's-
momentum.
And push too hard too soon.
Yeah.
So he's definitely learning that the hard way.
Yeah.
But while his ankle's healing, he decides to focus on another aspect of Goggins' philosophy,
Okay. What's that?
diet.
Okay.
And I mean, we're talking strict,
Okay.
no more cheat meals.
Wow.
No junk food, no soda,
Really?
nothing.
Wow.
He even restricts himself to 1,500 calories a day,
That's pretty intense.
yogurt and fruit for breakfast,
Okay.
very carefully measured portions for lunch,
Yeah.
and a very protein-heavy dinner.
That's extreme.
It's pretty extreme.
While the discipline is admirable,
Yeah.
it does raise some red flags. Restricting calories like that can have some downsides.
Yeah.
Like metabolic adaptation, your body starts to conserve energy.
Right.
You could have nutrient deficiencies.
Yeah, and you wonder if it's really sustainable for the long term.
Right.
And you know what? Even with this incredible willpower,
Yeah.
he still admits to battling cravings, especially at night.
It just goes to show you, even with all the willpower in the world,
Yeah.
those cravings are tough.
Yeah.
It really highlights the importance of finding a balance that works for you
Right.
in the long run,
Exactly.
instead of just adopting someone else's extreme measures.
So swimming's out, diet is super strict.
Right.
He's still recovering from this injury,
Yeah.
but finally there's a glimmer of hope.
Okay, what's that?
His ankle heals enough for him to start running again.
Right.
And this time, he does something different.
What's that?
He joins a running club.
Oh, I like that.
This is where you start to see that social aspect of fitness come in, right?
Okay.
So group exercise, it provides that sense of community,
For sure.
support, accountability.
Yep.
It can be really motivating
Absolutely.
to work out with others who have similar goals.
He can make a world of difference.
And it seems to for him.
Yeah,
Because he starts to actually enjoy running.
that's great.
He even gets a nickname from the group. They start calling him Asian Goggins.
That's awesome.
So it's like he's finally found this place where his dedication is appreciated and encouraged, but in a healthy way.
It's a stark contrast to the beginning where he was so isolated,
Oh, yeah.
pushing himself to the point of injury.
Right.
You know, this is great.
It's a good reminder that we don't have to do everything alone.
Totally.
And this newfound love for running leads him to sign up for a race,
Okay.
but not just any race.
What is...
His first ever race is going to be a 31.1 mile ultramarathon.
What?
Remember, this is a guy who is struggling to run 5 or 6 miles at a time.
I know that's a huge jump.
It's a big jump.
It highlights that drive to push limits, but it also raises concerns about his preparation.
Right.
Ultramarathons are incredibly demanding on the body,
Yes.
and jumping into one after only a month of consistent running,
Right.
even with Goggins as inspiration, that's bold.
It is bold.
Especially when you consider the conditions of this race.
Oh, yeah.
104-degree heat,
Yeah.
a course that runs through the entire city of Los Angeles.
I know.
And it goes through the night.
Oh, yeah.
This is where embrace the suck gets really dangerous.
This is next level.
Yeah.
And you know what?
What?
He finishes the race.
Wow.
He even loses a toenail in the process.
Oh, man.
It just shows incredible dedication.
It's impressive, no doubt.
Yeah.
But it also underlines the importance of respecting the demands
Yeah.
of these events
Right.
and being prepared.
For sure.
There's a fine line between pushing your limits and pushing yourself to the point of serious injury.
Right, totally.
You know, burnout.
And all this effort is definitely paying off.
Huh.
He's lost over 20 pounds. His waist has shrunk considerably.
That's great.
He's seeing tangible results
Awesome.
from all his hard work and discipline.
Good for him.
But then
Well,
something unexpected happens.
what's that?
He hits a plateau.
Oh.
His weight loss just stalls.
Oh, wow.
And despite sticking to his strict diet and intense workouts, the scale won't budge.
Plateaus are so common and they
Yeah.
can be so frustrating.
Yeah.
It's important to remember that our bodies are complex
Right.
and weight loss isn't always linear.
Right?
It's not just about pushing harder. It's about understanding the underlying factors that might be contributing to that plateau.
Which is exactly what we'll explore in the next part of our deep dive.
Can't wait.
Stay tuned as we uncover how David tackles this weight loss plateau and what other unexpected obstacles he encounters along the way.
So we left off with David hitting this weight loss plateau.
Right.
And it's, super frustrating,
Oh, for sure.
especially when you think about how strict his diet is. Yeah, you think you're doing all the right things.
Yeah.
And the scale just doesn't move.
It's like, what's going on?
You can really mess with you mentally.
Yeah, totally. And I wonder how this mental aspect ties into this whole journey of trying to, be tough like Goggins.
It's a good question. I think David's initial approach to toughness was all about,
Yeah.
really external stuff.
Pushing his body, yeah.
Pushing his body,
Ignoring the pain.
ignoring the
Hitting
care,
those crazy goals.
achieving those big goals.
Yeah.
But the plateau kind of forces him to confront something he can't just power through.
Right. It's like this invisible wall he can't run through.
Exactly.
So what does he do? Does he double down on the intensity?
Surprisingly, no.
Really?
This is where we see a shift in his mindset.
Okay.
Instead of just doing more,
Yeah.
he actually starts incorporating more rest days.
Wow. That's a big change.
For someone who is all about pushing limits 24/7.
I know. What do you think causes that?
I think, the combination of the plateau and the injuries forced him to acknowledge that his body just needed more recovery time.
Okay.
And, maybe, more importantly, I think he's starting to understand those lessons about balance and sustainability that we talked about earlier.
It's like he's finally realizing that being tough isn't just about pushing through pain.
Exactly.
But it's also knowing when to listen to your body.
Yes.
And give it what it needs.
Totally.
And this shift in his thinking, it seems like it goes beyond just the rest days.
Yeah.
Because he also starts seeking out opportunities to work out with other people instead of always training alone.
Like, he's embracing that community aspect.
Right. Do you think that's because of his experience with the running club?
I think so.
Yeah.
Remember how much he enjoyed the camaraderie and support from that group?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It seems like he's realizing that having people to share the journey with makes a big difference.
Totally.
Mentally and emotionally.
And there's this one scene
Yeah.
where he's training with a group.
Okay.
And someone's like, let's slow down. Asian Goggins is going to carry the boat.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like they appreciate his dedication, but in a healthy way.
It's such a difference from when he was feeling isolated.
Oh, yeah.
Misunderstood.
Right.
Now he's surrounded by people who share his passion for pushing limits.
Yeah.
But they also understand balance and support.
It's that sweet spot.
It is.
So he's resting more, working out with others. What else is he changing?
Well, this may surprise you.
Okay.
He starts paying more attention to what his body needs.
Okay.
Not just what Goggins says he should be doing.
Right.
There's even a point where he says, I think I need to start gaining weight.
Whoa. That's a big statement coming from him.
I know.
Why do you think that happened?
I think he's realizing that being lean isn't the same as being strong or healthy.
Right.
He's starting to listen to his body.
Right.
And his body might be saying, hey, I need a little bit more fuel
to
support all this training.
So he's moving away from just the number on the scale.
Exactly.
To how he actually feels.
Yeah.
How his body performs.
It's about how you feel, not what you see.
And this shift in mindset seems like it bleeds into his relationship with Emily.
Remember how concerned she was about his workout schedule?
Oh, totally. She was worried he was going to burn himself out.
Right. Well, there's this scene where he comes home from a workout just exhausted, expecting her to give him a hard time.
Oh, yeah. He was bracing himself.
But instead of criticizing him, she does something totally unexpected.
What's that?
She asks him why working out is so important to him.
Oh, wow.
She wants to understand what's motivating him.
That's amazing.
And that opens up a whole new level of communication between them.
It's like she becomes his teammate, not just his girlfriend.
Right. She's like, okay, I'm not going to judge you. I just want to understand.
That's so cool. So how does he react?
He's caught off guard, but in a good way. It's like her empathy disarms him, and it allows him to be vulnerable.
Oh, wow.
He admits that he's been running away from the person he used to be.
Ah, okay.
The overweight kid, the pre-diabetic kid who got bullied.
So it's deeper than just physical transformation.
Much deeper.
It's about escaping that old version of himself.
Yeah, he's trying to, outrun his past.
And do you think that changes his perspective on the challenge at all?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's starting to see his fitness journey, not just as this way to transform his body, but to transform his relationship with himself.
Oh, wow.
To finally confront those insecurities that have been driving him.
That's huge.
And it's a much more meaningful motivation than simply trying to be tough.
It sounds like Emily being willing to listen really created that safe space for him.
Totally.
To be vulnerable.
It reminds us how important it is to have people in your life who can support you, not just physically, but emotionally. Someone who can just hold space for you.
Right.
To be vulnerable and work through those issues.
It seems like David's really starting to get this idea.
Yeah.
That strength is about a lot more than just how much you can lift or how far you can run.
It's about mental resilience.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
The ability to connect with others.
It's like that vulnerability is what unlocks this deeper level of motivation.
Exactly. It's not about escaping anymore.
Yeah.
It's about embracing who he is now and building a healthier future.
So as the Iron Man approaches,
right,
he's a totally different person than he was at the beginning of this challenge.
Oh, bet.
Obviously, he's physically stronger.
Yeah.
But more importantly, He's emotionally and mentally stronger.
Right.
He's learned about balance,
Yeah.
community, self-awareness.
Self-love?
Yeah, maybe even self-love.
That's huge.
But will all of that be enough
to
get him through one of the most grueling events on the planet?
Oh, the Iron Man is no joke.
Here we are, the Iron Man.
It's crazy.
After all that, the training, the injuries, the self-discovery.
All those challenges.
It all comes down to this.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe he's even made it this far.
I know.
Like, remember, he could barely get out of bed in the beginning. It's amazing what humans can do.
It really is.
When they set their minds to it.
It's the power of resilience.
Yeah, but even with all the progress he's made, the Iron Man is still like a massive challenge.
It's huge.
We're talking a 2.4-mile swim.
Oh my gosh.
112-mile bike ride.
Wow.
And then a full marathon, 26.2 miles.
All back to back.
Back to back to back.
It's insane.
It's nuts.
Even for experienced athletes.
Right. Exactly. And remember, David's still relatively new to all this.
Yeah.
Like, how is his body going to hold up?
Right.
Let alone his mind.
Right. Exactly. And now it seems like he's not just going to push through the pain.
Right.
Like he might have at the beginning.
Yeah. He's approaching this whole thing with a totally different mindset now.
Yeah. There's a sense of calm.
Yeah.
Self-awareness.
That wasn't there before.
It's like he's found a balance.
Yeah. And you see that in how he's approaching the race.
Yeah.
There's this scene, right?
Yeah.
Where he's talking to the camera.
Right.
Before the starting gun goes off.
Right.
And he's expressing gratitude.
Oh.
For Emily, his friends, even the viewers online.
Yeah.
Who've been following his journey.
It's a good reminder that, even though these things seem so individual, like you're doing it all on your own, you really aren't.
Right.
The support of others can be huge.
Totally, yeah.
Especially when things get tough.
And they definitely do.
Yeah.
At some point during the marathon, David hits a wall.
Yeah.
But it's not a physical one this time.
What is it?
It's emotional.
Okay.
He starts questioning, like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why am I putting myself through all this pain?
Right, that self-doubt creeps in.
Yeah, all those insecurities he's been working through just come rushing back.
It's a common experience for endurance athletes.
Yeah.
The body can handle so much.
Right.
But the mind,
It's fragile.
It's fragile.
Yeah, and in that moment, he's ready to give up.
Oh, no.
But then something shifts.
What happens?
He remembers why he started this whole thing in the first place.
Yeah, he remembers his why.
It wasn't about becoming David Goggins or proving anything to anyone else.
Yeah.
It was about proving it to himself.
Right.
About taking control of his health.
Yeah.
His life, his future.
That's huge.
And that seems to give him the strength
to
push through that emotional barrier.
It's that deeper motivation.
Yeah.
It's not about external validation anymore.
It's about self-love and acceptance.
It is. It's like he finally understands what embracing the suck really means.
Yeah.
It's not about just being masochistic.
Right.
It's about acknowledging the difficulty.
Yeah.
But finding that strength to keep going.
And he does. He digs deep.
Yeah.
Pushes through the pain. And ultimately, he crosses that finish line.
He does it.
And you can just see it on his face, the emotion.
Yeah.
The sense of accomplishment, the relief.
I bet.
It's just incredible.
It's so inspiring.
It is. And I think there's so much we can all take away from this.
I think so too.
Like, what are some of the big lessons here?
For me, it's about defining toughness for yourself.
Right.
You don't have to follow someone else's path.
Yeah.
Even if it's someone as impressive as Goggins.
Right. It's about figuring out what works for you.
Exactly.
What motivates you.
What challenges you in a healthy way.
Yeah. It's about finding that balance.
It is.
Pushing your limits, but also resting.
Right.
Building physical strength.
Yeah.
But also taking care of your mental and emotional well-being.
Absolutely. And the power of community.
Oh, yeah, totally.
David wouldn't have gotten there without the support of his friends and Emily.
Right. Surrounding yourself with people who lift you up.
Exactly.
Who encourage you.
Hold you accountable.
And I think it's also a reminder that real strength often comes from vulnerability.
It does.
It's about being honest with yourself, about your weaknesses, your fears.
Being okay with not being perfect.
And finding that courage to face them.
It's not easy.
Not at all, but so worth it.
Yeah.
So as you go about your day,
think
about the challenges you're facing.
Okay.
Maybe some limiting beliefs that are holding you back.
Right.
And who are the people you can lean on?
Who's in your corner?
To help you through it.
Remember, real strength comes from within.
Yeah.
It's often built when we face our toughest battles.
Well said. And that wraps up another deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
Until next time, Keep exploring, keep questioning, keep pushing your boundaries.
Whatever they may be.
See you next time.